I just can't wait for this one. This part of the conversation is, what are some of the horrible invitations that you have received? And after I hear yours, probably mine aren't going to be as bad, but I may add a couple.
I actually wrote a newsletter, and I call it LinkedIn Invite Purgatory, because when I go through the invites, obviously there's some that are right away, yes, maybe I met the person or for whatever reason. There's some immediate no's, just if it's just creepy or for whatever reason as well. And then there are the ones in the middle. And I have, I think, about 200 people sitting in invite purgatory because I have to go through and make a decision. Either they didn't put a message, so I have to check out their profile, or they put a message and I'm just not sure. So some of my favorites, there was a while, and I don't know if somebody was giving people a script or how it happened. It seemed like 3 in a row or a few in a row all said, I stumbled across your profile. So I was thinking my profile must be very dangerous because they're stumbling on it. So I feel like there's somebody advising people to soften the request, maybe by saying that. I'm not really sure. Or it's in their automated tool. Speaking of automation, please, please, please don't use an automated tool to send out those requests. So stumbled, that was a good one. People have started pitching. You've heard of the connect and pitch. That's where they pitch after you say yes.
Oh, heard.
But now, yeah. But now they're pitching in the connection invite.
For those people who may be saying to themselves right now, Joyce, that's me. What word of advice, encouragement, could you motivate people who are saying, "Ooh, that's me"? What could you share with them to maybe entice them to change this?
Sure. Well, when people are doing that, they're thinking of their LinkedIn behavior in a similar way to, say, cold calling, right? They're going after hundreds of people hoping to get 3.
Yes.
I think, and from my experience and observation, that it's better to do it manually and one by one and build actual relationships. You're still going to get the same 3 people. It's just going to be a better relationship, right? So it's, and people have their walls up on LinkedIn because of the bad behavior. So there are a lot of people who they just make the assumption that they're going to be sold to. So they don't want to connect or they don't want to meet. So you have to take it more slowly than you might want to build a relationship. It's just like meeting somebody in person. You know, you're not going to ask them at the first event you met them at if they would buy your product or service. So
I wouldn't, but those pushy ones will. Here's my card. Can I call you on Monday? What time is good for you? Yeah. So the one-on-one, I love that. And how do you, we're going to talk about how you connect with strangers in a moment, but what would be a good way for people to find, like, for me, it's department managers and leaders. Any advice on how you can find one-on-one people who fit your profile?
Sure. Well, obviously the LinkedIn search is the first place to begin. And you have to be a little bit like a detective because the search is very literal. So sometimes I like to put a single word. In other words, I don't put the full title. I wouldn't put, say, VP or director or manager. I would put just the term for the responsibility area that I'm looking for. And then try to narrow it down because you're going to get millions of responses and that's too hard. So is there something else you can do to make it more specific, a specific industry, geography, things like that? So that's really the first place I begin is in the search.